I'm Susie Hassan, and I'm the Gadget Queen. And on today's episode, it's all about pasta. And if you think you've seen every gadget for pasta, think again. We're in the Gadget Queen kitchen, so I guarantee I've got stuff here you've never seen before. I cannot wait to show you. Let's dive right in. So on today's episode, we're doing an open-faced stuffed meatball spaghetti sandwich. This thing is gonna be huge, and I have all the pasta gadgets to get me there. All right, so let's start it off with the sauce. Okay, so first up, we're gonna go ahead and do our onion. So just dice our onion. I got my little onion dicer. And I'm gonna go ahead and get that going. And I love this dicer because it makes things so fast and easy. Just go ahead and take off the ends. And you know how much I love my slicers and dicers out here in the Gadget kitchen. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that a little chop in half. And now watch, here we go. Remember, you wanna go fast and quick when you're using a dicer. So take a look, it's got these little serrations inside. So now, I'm gonna use the lid that actually came with it and just press in, and you're gonna have perfectly diced onions. All right, so this is gonna go into our sauce. Move that out of the way. And now, we're gonna go with garlic. So I said I have a bunch of fun pasta gadgets, and everything you're gonna see, just about everything, is gonna look like a pasta. So this one is a penne, or at least you think it's a penne, but actually it helps us get the skin off of the little garlic cloves. So I'm gonna show you how to use this one. And you'll see a lot of these items are actually from our friends at Monkey Business. Again, they're a design firm that actually makes all these fun little gadgets. So I'm gonna take my garlic. So you'll have them like this. Of course, the skin is on them. So when you put them inside the little penne, all you're gonna do is just give them a roll. And the skin will come right off. Now we're gonna go ahead, and there you go. It just popped right out. The skin is off, and so it's ready to be diced. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna actually use my little dicer from Joy, and you just open it up, and you can see, just like the big onion grater, this is a tiny one for our little garlic guy. So we're gonna put the garlic in here, and we're just gonna give it a nice dice. I mean, how about that? Quick dicing, so fast, so easy. Now we have our minced garlic, which, as we all know, mincing garlic can be tough to do, but not in the Gadget kitchen. Now we're ready to make the sauce. So before I go over there, I'm just gonna chop up some basil, just a rough chop, because I'm actually gonna cook it down in the pan. And there we go. All right, now let's take all this back to the stove. Now this is actually one of my favorite gadgets to use in the kitchen. It's actually an automatic stir. So when you put it in a pan, it actually rotates backward and forward to give you a perfect incorporated sauce. So for this, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cook some of my elements first, and then I'm gonna add in the tomatoes and everything and let the automatic stir do all the work while I can get busy stuffing the meatballs. Okay, so first off, I'm just gonna hit this with a little bit of olive oil from our friends at Zaytna. Again, this is that Jordanian brand of olives where they have all those beautiful olive trees out there. Just a little bit of olive oil. All right, so I'm adding my onions, my garlic, and my basil actually. So I want that to cook down to release all the beautiful aroma from that basil. And this is really my go-to sauce. Anytime I have to make a red sauce, this is the one that I make because it's quick and easy. It tastes like you spent all day with it, but you really didn't. So you'll definitely see this pasta sauce pop up again, I'm sure. All right, now that's looking good. So then to this, I'm gonna add my Hunt's tomato sauce. And Hunt's is just my go-to. I love it. It's a great base for sauce. Get that going pretty good. And then I'm also going to use Hunt's tomato paste. Again, just a really great, solid paste. A lot of great tomato flavor in that. You don't need much with tomato paste. A little definitely goes a long way, I think, there. Okay, so now I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit because remember, I want this to simmer and use my automatic stir. And to this, I'm just going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning, a little bit of oregano. And I don't have time to stir. So I'm going to put in my automatic stir. And he is going to keep stirring until I tell him to stop. So I'm going to do about 10-15 minutes. So the sauce is great. Now you could actually do this on for a lot longer if you wanted to. It's just really up to you. Okay, now if you notice here, when I did stir with my wooden spoon, my spoon actually got dirty, but look at the cutest little gadget I have for this. Again, from Monkey Business. So here is a little ravioli spoon holder. So you just put your spoon right on that, and just like the cutest little thing. It just really adds to the kitchen when you have all these fun gadgets all over the place. All right, so my sauce is going. Now my water is bubbling up and it's ready to go. So let me grab my pasta. All right, now I have my pasta here, and take a look at what I've wrapped it with. Again, this is from our friends at Monkey Business. Like everything that looks like pasta is really from them. And this is a muffaldine pasta. So you can use it to wrap your pasta. You can put it around your jars. You can put it around bags of rice or other bags that you've opened where you need it to close. These are perfect for that. So these are little muffaldines. All right, so I'm gonna put these down. I'm gonna get my pasta ready. This is actually Barilla. And these are bronze cut. They have this special collection, which is a bronze cut collection, that actually helps to hold sauce better. And to me, I really can taste the difference in the bronze cut collection. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. All right, here we go. Now, I'm gonna save a few to the side because take a look at this other little gadget guy that I found. All right, here's my little fisherman, okay, or so you think. You actually put your pasta noodles in there, and then you can actually tell when your pasta's done. And don't worry, there's two in there, so you have a backup in case one falls through for some reason. All right, so then you have this little fisherman, and then you put him onto the side of the pot. Put him on the side. Let's see, where do I want him to fish? I'll have him fish like there. There you go. so that way you don't have to try to scoop and grab and try to test one out. The little fisherman guy will do it for you, and you can tell exactly when the pasta is perfect and ready and al dente. Okay, we'll let the pasta cook, the sauce cook, and we will get started on stuffing those meatballs.
Quality, prime, fresh meats, cut fresh and delivered fast straight to your door. With Happy to Meet You, we help you bring the steakhouse to your house. The mission is simple: to deliver delicious premium meats while guaranteeing freshness at a great value, all delivered straight to your home with 100% satisfaction guaranteed, because after all, we have our reputation at stake. For more information on our premium selections and how to order, go to www.happytomeetyou.com.
Okay, so these meatballs are gonna be super fun because we're gonna stuff them, but we're gonna make them first. Okay, so we have our meat from our friends at Happy to Meet You to start with, and we're gonna go ahead and just crack an egg right here on the side with a little crack spot. And then into this, we're gonna add a little bit of our garlic, and we're gonna add our diced onion. All right, now we're also gonna add a little salt from Saltopia. She actually has a whole Italian seasoning one, so it's perfect for what we need. I love a seasoning that just got everything already there. It just makes it a lot easier. All right, to this we're gonna add a little bit of Parmesan, and now we're gonna mix this up. All right. Now we're gonna add a little breadcrumbs as well. And I am a big fan of Progresso. It's always my go-to. You know, I think all of us are like that. We have our like go-to brands, and Progresso is definitely one of my go-to brands. All right. So I might add a little bit more. Now in my area of Philadelphia, there's a lot of old school Italians that live there, and they would just flub their nose at a breading that's already made. What they would suggest is actually to get an Italian bread and then let that sit out and get stale, and even maybe soak that in milk too, to actually get the authentic flavor. But let me tell you, in the Gadget kitchen, we ain't got time for that, okay? We're trying to move fast and use our gadgets to get there. All right, so here we go. We got our meat already done. Okay, so I'm gonna get out my meatball stuffer. And the first time I saw this thing, it looked like one of those crazy carnival rides, you know, that comes into your town like once a year. When you're little, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna ride that crazy looking thing. And then when you're adult, you're like, heck no, I'm not gonna go anywhere near that. What if a screw comes loose and the whole thing goes all over the place? So that's what this actually reminds me of. But it's really fun to use. So here is all you have to do. So we're gonna put meat on both sides of the circle. And then, now today we're gonna actually stuff them with Parmesan and mozzarella. You can do so many things with these. You can do so many different meatballs. I could even see doing like a lamb meatball with feta cheese inside. Ooh, that could be an idea for another day. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this side and I'm gonna press it down. So now you're gonna get your little well that you need so you can actually fill your meatballs. And don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. We'll get there in a second. All right, so now we have our meatballs here, the little wells in there. So they're ready to be stuffed. And here we're doing Parmesan in each. And then we're gonna do a little mozzarella in each. All right. Stuff, stuff, stuff. This is gonna be so good. All right. So now we're gonna take the other side and we're just gonna flip it onto the top so we can make our circle. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this over. And just really want to press it down. And remember, it's okay if it starts squishing out. It's no big deal. We're going to take the excess off while it's in there. We have perfectly stuffed meatballs. All right, so let's take them out. We're going to finish kind of packing them. Now these are pretty monster meatballs, okay? So that's why we're making that big open-faced spaghetti sandwich with them. But they're definitely hearty when you got them stuffed. And they're definitely heavy when you got them stuffed. All right, just get that ball going. And I think we're ready to go ahead and cook these meatballs. All right, now before we pop this in the oven, I have to show you this other crazy gadget from Monkey Business. This is called the mezzalune, which is from the pasta. It's the perfect little gadget to help you carry all those baking dishes both in and out of the oven. All right, so I think our sauce and our pasta are just about done. Let me check here. Yep, I think that is perfectly done. That pasta is ready to go. So I'm gonna move him over to the side, turn that stove off. All right, now let's check on the pasta. Remember our little fisherman guy we had earlier to make sure that the pasta was al dente? Let's see how this goes. So here are the bottom pieces. So I can just take one out, and yes, I can feel it. It's actually perfect. It's ready to go, so I can see that it's ready to go. And now I can take them out. Now I do have yet another gadget that I love, which are these farfalle handles. So that way you don't burn your fingers when you take this off of the stove. And one of my favorite colanders to use in Gadget Kitchen is this colander, not just because it has the funny eyes, and that's totally me, but the eyes actually help you hold the colander so that way you can actually get all of the water out. So I'm gonna go ahead and strain this pasta, get the sauce going, and we're gonna start to build our spaghetti sandwich. All right, so we're gonna keep the fun going with this spaghetti spoon, and I mean spaghetti spoon. Again, Monkey Business has really outdone themselves. All the gadgets in this episode are just so fun. All right, so I'm gonna use this to, of course, take my pasta out. Now for this pasta, I'm using a bucatini. I love a thick spaghetti. You know, I know people are like classic spaghetti, but I love the thickness of this, and I love even using this for a baked pasta as well. So I'm gonna just go ahead and incorporate my pasta with my sauce, and that way it's ready to go when I go ahead and get my bread going, and I'm gonna top it off with the stuffed meatballs. Give that a little toss. Our sauce is perfect, that pasta is perfect. All right, we're gonna let that sit, get on to our bread.
Quality, prime, fresh meats, cut fresh and delivered fast straight to your door. With Happy to Meet You, we help you bring the steakhouse to your house. The mission is simple: to deliver delicious premium meats while guaranteeing freshness at a great value, all delivered straight to your home with 100% satisfaction guaranteed, because after all, we have our reputation at stake. For more information on our premium selections and how to order, go to www.happytomeetyou.com.
And now here's another great dinner idea by our friends from Happy to Meet You.
Thanks, Susie. Well, I'm really excited because today I wanted to share with you my favorite seafood recipe. It's one that I actually love to serve people who don't necessarily like seafood because it really wins them over. It's a ginger-kissed halibut. We saute it with some tomatoes and an obscene amount of butter. That's usually what wins them over. It's really easy. It's done in one pan, and you can serve it with just about anything. This is halibut from Happy to Meet You, or Happy to See You, their sister company. And what's really wonderful is these are pristine, wild-caught, fresh halibut fillets, boneless, skinless, as you can see, in the perfect 8-ounce portions. And what they do is the day they catch it, they cut it, and they freeze it right away, vacuum sealed. So it's always gonna have that fresh from the sea taste. So we're gonna take 2 of those, because I'm cooking for 2 today. And what we're gonna do is just give them a good season of salt and pepper with our fancy gadgets that we love to use here. And we wanna do both sides. And then we're going to take and get some nice pepper on that. Again, on both sides. So we're just gonna let our halibut fillets sit. Now we're gonna go to the skillet, because what I have here is about a pint of cherry tomatoes that I sliced in half. And we're gonna break this down with some ginger and garlic in our butter. So let's move back to the stove. We'd go ahead and put in the whole stick. Eventually this is gonna become your finishing sauce, so you're not necessarily gonna be eating all that butter, but you definitely wanna give your halibut a nice butter bath. Just swirl that around the pan. Get that melted a little bit. So we're gonna swirl that butter as it melts around in the pan. So I'm gonna add in my garlic. And there is my ginger. The ginger is what gives it a slight Asian flavor, but I don't add any soy sauce or anything. Again, this is the butter to just make this a really kind of hug you from the inside dish. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this cook for about a minute, not too long. We just wanna get the aromatic, the aroma of the ginger and the garlic. Then we're gonna kick up the heat a little bit after about a minute, because now we're going to add our halved cherry tomatoes and some scallions. With the scallions, I separate the white from the green parts, and I use the white to sweat out and saute the vegetables, and we'll save the green for a little bit of garnish later. All right, so you're gonna wanna cook the tomatoes in the butter with the scallions till just when the tomatoes begin to break down. That's when you're gonna know it's the perfect time to add in your fish. And it's really important to have even cut fish. A lot of times when you go to the grocery store, you have to be careful. Oh, the halibut looks amazing. Perfectly cooked. Wait till you see this color. That ginger and the butter just becomes this burst of orange and the red. It looks delicious, but it's really the best part now because we get to plate it and taste it. So just take one of the fillets. Put that on the plate. All right, well there you have it. A ginger kissed halibut that everybody's going to love. Manja. Really is that ultimate hug on the inside. Susie, back to you.
All right, let's put together our big boy spaghetti sandwich. Okay, so I got my big bucatini, so I'm gonna put that on the top. You're gonna be generous, people, you're gonna be generous. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, I love those big fat noodles. This is a big boy sandwich. All right, I'm gonna get these big stuffed meatballs. Put that on the top. Put that on the top. All right, all that cheese just getting ready to goo out of them. Here we go, here we go. Oh man, hit that with a little Parmigiano. Oh my God. I mean, does it get any better than that? All right, now all we have left to do is pour ourselves a big heaping glass of red wine. Dreaming Tree is my go-to. And now we're ready for this really fantastic open-faced big boy spaghetti sandwich. And I would love if you would follow the show at Gadget Queen TV or Susie Hassan TV, and you'll see why they call me the Gadget Queen. I'll see you next time.